Hello, this is Nitin Mohod, and today we are going to see the basics of capacitor. All of you must have heard about the capacitor. It's basically a parallel plate device which are separated by some distance, and those are the conducting plates. But what exactly the capacitor is, how it works, that we are going to see in this basics of capacitors. Capacitor is the device or component stores electrical energy and releases it whenever required. Here in the diagram we have shown the capacitor. Here these are the two plates which are the parallel plates of the capacitor separated by some distance, and in between these two plates the dielectric is placed. Dielectric is basically the insulating material. Capacitor has ability to store electric charges, which is called as the capacitance C, and it is represented by capital letter C. It consists of two conducting parallel plates, as we have shown in the diagram, which are separated by dielectric, which is an insulating material. Dielectric can be anything like air, mica, paper, ceramic, polyester, polystyrene, or polycarbonate plastics. All these are the insulating materials, and this can be used as a dielectric. And many times from the dielectric itself, the name to the capacitor is given. For example, mica capacitor, air capacitor, paper capacitor, ceramic capacitor, so on and so forth. What it does actually, it opposes change of voltage in the circuit wherein it is connected, while it blocks the DC current through it. It means it only allows to pass AC through it, not DC. Here we are going to see that when a capacitor is connected across the battery, the two situations are shown in the diagram. The first one where the capacitor is just connected in the circuit, and the second one where the capacitor is fully charged after connecting in the circuit. So these are the two parallel plates, parallel plate A and B, and here also the same plates we have shown with the charges on plate A plus Q and the charges on plate B as minus Q, which are connected across the battery with EMF V volts. When uncharged capacitor is connected across a battery with EMF V volts as shown in the figure, for a moment electron flows in a circuit from plate A to plate B. So electron will be pulled by the positive plate, and from the negative plate the electrons will be deposited on the plate B, right? Positive terminal of the battery, means this one, the longest terminal of the battery, will pulls away the electrons from plate A, and thus the plate A becomes positively charged, while these electrons are deposited on the plate B on a capacitor, and hence the plate B becomes negatively charged. Flow of electron from plate A to plate B through connecting wires gives the charging current. Actually, electron starts flowing from plate A to plate B. It means the current will flow from plate B to plate A. Generally, the conventional current flows in opposite direction to the direction of electron flow, and accordingly here the current will flow from plate B to plate A. Okay, so flow of electron from plate A to plate B through connecting wires gives the charging current, which establishes plus Q charge on the plate A. Charging is maximum initially when the capacitor is fully uncharged, and goes on decreasing and finally becomes zero when the potential difference across the capacitor becomes equal and opposite to the battery EMF V volts. It means whatever the charges you are getting plus Q and minus Q on the plates of the capacitor, the potential difference which will be formed in between these two, when this will be equal to the externally connected EMF or externally applied EMF V volts, at that time the charging will be zero. It's important to note here that no current can flow through the capacitor because of dielectric, which possesses infinite resistance, because dielectric is insulating material. Only the electric charge is moved from one plate to other plate through external circuit only. On increasing the potential difference across the plates, the stress on the dielectric increases. Up to a certain limit it can withstand, and finally a spark occurs between the two plates and the breakdown occurs. There we can say the capacitor becomes destroyed. Okay. Such a maximum voltage which a dielectric can sustain without breakdown is called as the dielectric strength, means up to which the capacitor can work safely, that is called the dielectric strength, and is given as kilovolts per millimeter. On connecting two leads of the charged capacitor, the two plates are equalized and capacitor discharges. Remember, whenever you are connecting any capacitor in the circuit, whatever the charge is it is holding at that time, so you should do one thing, that you must connect both the terminals of the capacitor together so that the capacitor will get discharged, and thereafter you connect it in the circuit. Due to potential difference between the plates, electric field sets up between them, whose strength is given by E is equal to V upon D. The electric field which will be created across the plates of the capacitor is given by E is equal to V upon D, and it is measured in volts per meter, where V is the voltage applied and D is the distance between two plates. Now capacitance. Capacitance is the most important parameter of the capacitor, and it measures the ability of capacitor to store charge, right? And that is defined as C is equal to Q upon V, where Q is the charge on the capacitor and V is the voltage applied. Capacitor opposes the change of voltage in the circuit, and therefore capacitance can be alternatively defined as C is equal to I upon dV by dt farads, where I is the charging current and dV by dt is the rate of change of voltage with time. Farad is the large unit of capacitance, and for practical purpose generally it is not used. So normally microfarad, nanofarad or microfarad, which is also called as picofarads, such type of smaller units are used in the practical purposes. Now factors controlling the capacitance. Now what are the factors which controls the capacitance? So capacitance is directly proportional to the plate area, means more the plate area, more will be the capacitance, and vice versa. Capacitance is inversely proportional to distance between plates. It means this distance depends upon what? It depends upon the thickness of dielectric which is placed between the plates. That is, thinner the dielectric, more will be the capacitance, and vice versa. It is directly proportional to relative permittivity. Now capacitance is directly proportional to relative permittivity, which is defined as epsilon r, or which is symbolized as epsilon r, which is also called as dielectric constant. Hence from above statements one formula is there, C is equal to epsilon 0 epsilon r A upon d farads, where epsilon 0 is absolute permittivity of vacuum and which is constant, equal to 8.854 into 10 raised to power minus 12 farads per meter. Now here the permittivity which we are talking about, it is basically the resistance offered by the material which is placed in between the plates to the electric field. The opposition applied or opposition offered to the electric field by the matter which is placed between the plates of the capacitor is called as the permittivity, right? It may be in absolute permittivity. We have actually absolute permittivity of vacuum means when there is nothing in between the two plates, not even air. At that time the permittivity which exists there is 8.854 into 10 raised to power minus 12 farads per meter. So I hope the idea about the capacitor, capacitance, and all the parameters and characteristics related to capacitors are clear to you. Thank you.